my dear friends, Impact employees, Impact partners, vendors, subcontractors, my family and friends, this evening we will celebrate our first year in business as Impact Service Group. Impact Service Group was born early in 2025, this year, after God gave me a vision of what it could be. In late 2024, I secured a partner and a plan with some guys for the journey of building a service company that would change the future for a lot of people. On April the 7th, 2025, myself and 3 of my closest allies and friends set out and met to complete our first commercial project for a customer in Atlanta, Georgia. April the 7th, 2025. That customer is in here tonight, and his name is Jerry Melton. Y'all give him a round of applause. Now, I'm going to try and not read this thing because it's a lot better if I don't read it. But there's going to be times where I have to come back and read it. But Jerry, along with many other customers, have trusted me, my word, and my team to take care of them. And that should not be taken lightly, especially on a startup company like we are. And there's many other customers in here tonight, and we're going to get there. But on April the 7th, I want you to know, April the 7th of 2025, this year, we went, Eric, Lance, Chris, and I went to his building and did our first job on overtime and changed a motor. And at that time, it was very uncertain, and we had nothing. Okay? I want you to understand something because it's a big deal. We had nothing. I had just bought 2 trucks the week before, and we had just went and kind of raided our garages for tools. No office, no shop, no customers, no income, just a few tools and some trucks. But we had a big vision, and I had a plan, a very well thought through plan. The ingredients for this plan were put together very strategically and with lots of prayer. A quick story. I'm going to tell you the story of how it began. In the summer of 2024, so we're going to rewind just a little bit. In the summer of 2024, I was out on Lake Oconee swimming with my family. I believe it was July of 24. And we were swimming around and we were, hanging out, and I had been dealing with some stuff at my current employer, and I had some friends there. And long story short, there was a seed planted. Someone said, "Man, I believe in you, and you should do it on your own." I decided, so after that, my wife and I met, we talked, and she said the same, that she believed in me as well. Shortly after that, I started the decision to do this very thing. So I decided to depart a previous employer that myself and some of my guys could continue to grow. So I made a plan and called on some of the best guys that I knew with very unique skill sets. And I was determined to lead. And I knew that my life would change drastically, but it was certain that that's what God wanted from me. All of this would take some time. Okay, so that was summer of 24. Well, by the fall of 24, I was convinced that I needed to do this. And I was back and forth. During the fall of 24, one minute I was like, I can do it. The next minute I said, no, I shouldn't. The next minute I said, yes. The next minute I started measuring it all up. I was nervous, scared, certain, back to nervous, scared. In the winter of 2024, everything began to come together. Of course, in the fall, we secured a DBA and we started all the things, and we did the licensing and we did all that stuff. But I was in need of some cash to do it the way that I wanted to do it. I was in need of a partner. And that was going to be a challenge. I went through 2 or 3 different people and was given every reason in the world to stop. But I couldn't. So in the winter of 2024, everything began to come together, and I was given peace with whatever the consequences may be. I went into full send mode. Okay, so if you don't know me by now, you should know that's the only way I go. I traded my truck in for a service body. I began to build logos, hired an attorney, sold everything I owned, to include my house and all my toys. During that time, well, actually, just before that is when I secured my partner, and I repositioned personally for this startup. We came out of the gate full steam ahead, and we had swift and relentless work ethic in order to set things up to be where we are today. We've worked hard, and we've made sacrifice so that others could have opportunity as well. As of today, and yes, this is very State of the Union type, I report that we have just rolled over $3.6 million in sales. If you're doing the math, that is 8 months, and that is $450,000 per month. The best part is, we are just getting started. A new chapter in each of our lives is coming forth. In the year 2026, we are going to accomplish some magnificent things. We have assembled a team of people that are qualified industry professionals that have a good heart and a desire to grow. In my life, I have found that it takes a village to accomplish anything of any substance. Impact Service Group was founded on this very principle. A team is always the way to get things done. And for every team, there is a leader. And even further than that, everyone is a leader in some way, and somehow someone is taking the team to where they're going. A truth that you can always count on is this: everything in the world rises and falls on leadership. Our slogan at Impact Service Group, that was put together by myself and Maddie helped me, is strength in leadership and power in service. That embodies what we do. That is what will set us apart from the rest. Impact is laser focused on leadership and the development of its people. As we grow, everyone will grow. If you've ever been on the ocean, when the tide rises, all the boats rise. Okay? So, there's a few things I want to accomplish tonight. Number one, we are going to honor the employees of Impact. I hope that you have felt honored tonight. We're going to show gratitude to our partners and our vendors. We're going to celebrate accomplishments. We're going to learn one thing to take away, and we're going to dream about the future. Okay? Those are the 5 things that I intend to speak about over the next few minutes. And I'm going to start with my team. We are going to do some impact recognition. And so I'm actually going to call them up here. I'm going to move this over like this, because I think that may be about center. No, let me scoot up. Hang on. If I'm not centered, y'all can tell me in a minute. Okay, so tonight to my team, I want to honor you and your families. Your choosing to join me on this journey is appreciated, and my commitment to you and your family runs deep because of it. For some of you, you think you're just working here. And some of you may have came because you believe in me. Some of you may have came because that's the only thing you had to do. Some of you may have came because there was nothing else better at the time. Some of you may have came for any reason that I don't know. But the fact is that you showed up here at Impact, and now you're with me. And believe it or not, I have prayed for the position that you hold. You are very special to me, and I am proud to serve you. Each of you are very special. I'm going to call each member of my team up here on the stage with me. As you come up, I want you to stand on the stage in order. I'm going to talk about each member of my team very slightly, and of course, none of them knew this was happening. So y'all don't laugh at them. All right, I'm going to start with Ashley Melton. Ashley, if you'll come up. I was going to say, everybody come up on that side, but she's a rule breaker. So, but she just does what she wants. Come on up. Ashley is the office manager for Impact Service Group. Ashley's also my wife. Ashley works hard. She's committed to walking alongside of me as we tear into the years to come, because that's what it's going to be. She gets a lot done and somehow seems to take care of me at home too. Ashley keeps up with our money and pays our bills. She is strong, resilient, and full of tenacity. Thank you, Ashley. Cheyenne is not here. I just heard Cheyenne stepped out. But I'm going to go ahead and read off what Cheyenne does too. Cheyenne is the operations coordinator for the company. She's like the mama in the room. She has had my back for years. Great lady that doesn't mind telling you what you need to hear. Maybe someone's recording this and she'll hear it. She handles all of our billing and supports the operations of our company. I'm grateful for Cheyenne. Maddie, put your camera down. Come on up. Maddie is our marketing specialist. She has worked with me very early on, putting all of my vision on paper and in the computers. Maddie works hard, and she's super smart. She's also my podcast co-host. She's been very instrumental in our position in the market as we are today. You know, everybody talks about social media and whatever. It's a big deal. I'll get to some of that later, but I attribute a lot of our success to the things that Maddie does. And so, thank you, Maddie. Virginia. Virginia is our bookkeeper. Sometimes we get along and sometimes we don't. She joined up early on. When we first started, I was like, you know, look, I know a lot of things, but I'm not good at keeping up with all these books. I need some help. And so I bumped into her at the bank, and we were having a little thing. And I think it was like the company was 2 or 3 weeks old. And I was like, I need you. Come on. And she's like, I'm in. So we went to work. Virginia's a great lady that battles through the numbers to help us win. I'm now going to move to the field team and my closest 3. We're going to go through the inner circle here. Chris Pitts, come on up. Chris has been my wingman for a few years now, about 3 or 4, I think. He may correct me later. Chris Pitts is my chat GPT. I tell everybody that, and they laugh, but he is so smart. He is the best all-around technician that I know on the planet. Dude can do anything. He was my primary technician at our former company, and then he became my coordinator, and then he came to Impact, and now he's managing customers, and he is a great man. We made a great team before because, I tell everybody this, he was really smart, much smarter than me, and I could sell really good, and so the two of us together were really good, and I would sell it, he'd come in and execute. But look, Chris Pitts, hands down, best dude I know, man. He is a managing partner in Impact. He's been here since he walked out the door with me at the other company. I'm proud to call him friend. Eric Jones. Eric is a really good dude. He never, ever complains. He always wants to help. He's one of the best technicians I know. His attitude, I don't think I've ever seen him. Now, some of y'all might have seen him mad. I haven't seen him mad. He probably hides it pretty well. I'm sure he cusses me when I walk away. But Eric's just a good dude. he's worked with me for the past 3 or 4 years as well. When Chris came into the office years ago at another place, Eric was point man for some of my larger customers out there in the field. And listen, Eric is managing our biggest customer to date right now. And he is doing a phenomenal job, okay? He's growing fast, and he's doing great. I'm proud to. He is also a managing partner at Impact, and I'm proud to call him friend. Lance Patillo. Lance Patillo, he's been a wingman for like few employers ago. He was with me for 7 years now, I think. 7 or 8. Lance has just went with me wherever I said I thought we needed to go to be successful. And he's trusted me. And so, man, I'm just glad that I can have him on the team. Lance was a fitter, welder, the best welder, lead man, draftsman, sales. Dude can do anything as well. If you're not understanding something yet, I have handpicked these guys based on what they're good at. And they're great, and it makes one good team. We're going to talk about that in just a second. But Lance learns quick. He has unmatched ownership of what he touches, and he's a good human. He is a managing partner at Impact, and I'm proud to call him friend. Jeff Payne. Jeff Payne is also known as Paw Paw. Jeff Payne was a savior for us at Impact. So if you can just imagine that me and these, well, kind of in this order. Well, I think he may have been after Seth and Lane, but from here down, we had this big idea and this big vision and this big dream, and we were hustling, and very quickly started selling some work, right? Some big projects, some big work, and I was like, holy smokes. We had this big piping job come up. And I called Jeff. I said, hey, man, I need you. We done sold 3,000 feet of pipe. I need you, man. And Jeff had worked for me at some other companies in the past. And he was trying to retire, 58 years old. And I said, no, man, we're going to go to work. We got to, come on. And so he says, okay, I'll come help you. Little did I know he'd still be here with me today. I'm just telling you, I didn't know. I figured he'd be like, I ain't doing this crap. But he didn't. He hung in there. Jeff was a godsend. He did a great job with that project. He made money on that project. He works his butt off to make sure that we complete whatever me and Lance and Chris and Eric sign us up for. He's there to help. He is mentoring and training the next generation literally every day. He's hard on these young boys over here. We'll get some testimony later. But he wants what's best for them. He wants what's best for Impact. He's told us. I'm proud to have him on the team. Lane Whitaker. Lane is one of our young men that is growing into his boots at Impact. He still ain't got no other boots, I done told him. He's done a great job at being on time, and he's been steady in his learning. And I'll say something else about him in just a minute. Seth Centinella. Seth is one of our young men that is also growing into his boots. He's on time. He works hard with Jeff on our projects. Seth listens and adapts to what he's being told to do. I want to say this. I haven't said it. I've told them, I think, but both of these guys are 19 years old. I could be wrong. They may have been late a time or two, maybe, but not very often. I want you to know that these guys are on time. And look, we work sometimes we're there at 6, 7, sometimes it's 8, but they get there, they do the job. Sometimes they don't listen really well, but they're learning, okay? Nonetheless, they're 19 years old, they're good young men, and my goal is to make them good men, okay? So thank y'all for being here. Artie Hager, come on, Artie. Come on, Dad.
Isn't he Papa too?
No, this is Dad. Artie was chased down for his role. I seen him regularly at church, and I was playing my cards right when I picked him up. I took him on a date. We went to dinner, and I told him, I said, man, these are what my plans are, and this is where my heart is, and I really need you, man. I really need you. And just so happens, he was in a position where, it might have made sense to him. And so he is older, wise, experienced in the industry. Artie was also a godsend, just what we needed it when we needed it. Just what we needed when we needed it, right? It's one of my 5 a.m. morning shower prayers was, I have got to have another guy. And he showed up. Trevor Cole. Say, slide down a little bit. Trevor was a fireman buddy of mine at the station in Buckhead, and we were just kind of acquaintances there. And he called me one day and he said, hey, I think I'd like to come and join up and work with you. And I said, well, okay, well, I'm not really hiring right now, but yeah, well, let's do an interview. I never turned down an interview, by the way, never. So I said, come on, let's do it. So he comes up to the office and he sits down, looks sharp, and we do an interview. And I said, well, Trevor, I'd love to hire you, buddy, but you're currently working, right? Yeah. And I said, we can't do it right now. I'm not in a position to hire yet, but when I get ready, I'll let you know. A couple days later, God's seen it different. Trevor showed up, and I was challenged. Make a decision. Do you hire or do you wait? Do you take the risk or do you do it? Or do you not? Do you hold? Got a good man. He's ready to go to work. And I thought to myself, that's one. I think I told you I'd get back with you the next day. Yeah, and I told him to pray about it. And I went home and prayed about it. And the next day we talked, and I said, you know what? Let's just do it. Okay? I went out on faith. Trevor has always had a great attitude. He's the life on the job. These guys will attest. He's a trip. He works hard. He's committed to our journey. Brandon Harrison. This guy right here, let me tell you about some persistence. So Brandon was also one of those I interviewed early on in the summer, probably August, July. Brandon? Okay. I interviewed him, and I said, man, I want to hire you. I'm going to hire you, but I got to have enough work. You're going to have to be patient. And he said, okay. I said, you call me every other week. There will come a time where I'll say yes. He said, all right. And he did that. And he said, man, I'm sorry to keep calling you. And I said, no, keep calling me. It's okay. Squeaky wheel gets the grease. Brandon was persistent. And I told him once we get it straightened out, we would take him. Guess what? It happened. I remember calling Eric and saying, it's time, ain't it? He said, yeah, it's been time. So I hired him. Jacob Floyd. Jacob sent me a message on Facebook following one of Maddie's posts. And he said, I may be interested in some change. And I said, okay, come and interview. I never turn an interview down. He came in, he sat down. In fact, Chris called Chris in for this one, which is what I'm going to start doing in 2026. The guys will be coming in and do interviews with me. But Chris came in and sat down, and we interviewed him. And when we kind of made a deal that day, right? Chris and Jacob were out there on the spot because he was in the right place. Okay, and I've done a lot of interviews that I did not hire people, but I know a good person when I sit in the room and the goals align. When we align, it's just hire them and figure it out. And that makes Heath nervous. But Heath Edwards, come on up. Heath Edwards is my soundboard. He reminds me that I'm crazy most of the time. Heath was a friend of mine from high school, and then he was my banker. And now he is a partner for our mission. He is one that I appreciate dearly for believing in me early on. He's been super instrumental in this operation as it is today. Heath drops in and checks on me and my sanity. He cheers me when I need it. He questions me when I need it. And he might even tell me no when I need to hear it. But he is a great partner, and I'm grateful for him. Please allow me to introduce you to the Impact Service Group. All right, thank y'all. Y'all be seated. Now, as we grow, that may become more and more difficult to do. But I want you to know that I felt like it was imperative that I tell you what each of their contributions are to this operation, so that you understand what it takes to do such a feat. I will take a minute now and talk about our partners. I told some of our partners in the back that none of this can happen without them either. To our partners, vendors, and friends, we can't do it without you. You all help us every day. I want to thank each of you for the role that you play in the impact that we have every day. Just like our team, you are critical to our success. And I won't have time to run through each of you, but I want you to know that on behalf of Impact, our gratitude extends far beyond what words can express, and I pray God's favor for you in the years to come. And I'll say this, I can't even name them all. There's so many partners that we have that take care of us, from our metal work to our fabrication to everything that we do. We have to, in order to keep the mission going, we have to tend to our partners. And that's not clients. Clients are partners too. But I'm talking about the ones that are making it happen, okay? And you guys you really don't understand. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But it means so much for a contractor to have a subcontractor that believes in the mission too. And, I can't name enough times where David Hildebrandt and I have been on the phone at midnight or 9 o'clock at night worrying about a customer and a client and making things happen that other contractors don't make happen because David doesn't work with them. Okay? So David and Lee and Trey, and look, I'm not going to name names, but you guys make things happen for Impact. And so I want you to know I'm grateful. We're going to talk about accomplishments really quick, because I said we were earlier. We're on track to do $4 million in revenue in our first year. Unbelievable, okay? Unbelievable. It's miraculous. We have 8 trucks tooled and ready to work with 12 W-2 employees. You just seen this group in 8 months. We have a customer base of 50, with 10 of those being top-tier clients. Some of those are in this room tonight. We've done crane lifts, big jobs, small jobs. We've absolutely crushed it. Most of all, we have a team that will change this industry. I want to share a takeaway with you tonight. What stands behind my relentless pursuit for all this leadership talk? If you know me well enough to know, you know that I have a leadership podcast and that I talk about leadership probably more than anybody really wants to hear about it. But that's how critical it is. That's how much I believe in it. And that's the reason that we are what we are. I want you to hear this. Listen very closely. I believe that we are all called to be leaders. Every human on the planet. Some people don't believe that. They don't have the same passion and love that I have that Derek talked about earlier. They don't believe that everyone is a leader, but that's simply because they don't know and they haven't been taught that. People have taught people that they're not worthy. Okay? That's what the devil does. And I'm here to turn that over. Okay? And so some may say, no, everybody's not a leader. You may say, I'm not a leader. But I say different, because you are. Of course, I would love to dive into that, but we will be here all night. So I yield back. Why you say, why do you say that, Jeremy? Well, because we are put together, listen very closely. We are put together by the hand of God. Each of us knit in our mother's womb by the creator of the universe, which is also my God. Each of us has a particular mission that no one else can accomplish, only you. Period. And I also know that God desires every one of his created to come back to him. That is what the Bible story is about. Through a fellow named Jesus. Jesus was a real man that had a real mission and was the greatest leader to ever walk the planet. And I've been studying him for some time, the life of Christ, and he was a leader worth following. Well, the Bible says that we are called to be Christ-like. That's in Scripture. So, if God wants the created to come back to him, and he's written all these stories in that Bible that Derek was preaching about earlier, he's written all these stories, and those stories say to be Christ-like. What does that mean you should do? Somebody? Be Christ-like. Okay? Well, so if we're supposed to be like him, then what does that mean regarding leadership? If you don't hear anything else I say tonight, hear this. Jesus Christ is my Savior. He is my Lord, and I will follow him all the days of my life. For the record, I am in full surrender to him and his will. This company, and by the way, that means for this company as well. This company represents more than HVAC. The logo design was meant for more than HVAC. It represents my ministry to the world, and more importantly, the employees of this company. They are my responsibility to lead, and I do not take that lightly. Every person that works for this company will be given the opportunity to lead and serve the world in a way that is unmatched by anyone else. God created each person that works for this company in his own special way. You are a leader by definition. You can choose to be a good one or a bad one. Jesus had 12 disciples, and he had 3 in his inner circle. And guess what? This was the vision that God gave me. This is why I chose 3 to start this company, and my mission was to get 12 as soon as possible. And if you don't know, earlier I counted 3 people that started with me, and it went to 12. Today, we have 12 W-2 employees. If that's not God, I don't know what to tell you. Surely, if God can change the world with 12 people, 12 fishermen and tax collectors, we can change an industry and just turn it over on its head. That is the goal. Our industry and the world is starving for great leaders. People don't lead. And I said, not on my watch, not anymore. We are going to do something about it. Impact Service Group will be a factory for leadership, a place where people want to come and learn to lead. HVAC and the trades will be the conduit for that. People want to come here now, and if we can keep that wheel, that will continue. I challenge myself to some fundamental things that will keep us rolling, and I have guardrails in place for myself to ensure that we capitalize on every opportunity that God gives us. One of my KPIs for myself is to interview and recruit bi-weekly at Impact Service Group. This has been a key contributor to our success today, and it will continue. There are many things that we will do different than the normal company. We are going to take the word manager and replace it with leader, at least in principle. At Impact, we relate it to coaching and leading rather than managing and bossing. If I have the privilege of leading you, I am a coach, and I know what it takes to win a game here. So I'm going to be on the field with you at practice, and I'm going to be in the gym when we're training, and I'm going to be in the game with you, and I'm going to be on the sideline cheering you on. But I'm never going to run on the field and take the ball away from you. I'm going to spend time with you in the locker room because I only have one goal, and that is to help you be the very best version of yourself. You've got it in you, and I intend to find it. We will invest and train our people better than anyone else. That is a promise. We will deny negativity and evil as we seek new ways to develop and navigate the challenging world that we live in. We will wage war on the status quo and be relentless in our pursuit of impact. Our people will love and serve the world. Okay? So what's in the future? The future is always uncertain. We never know what may come, but the vision is clear. We are here for a little while, and for that time, we will run. We will climb mountains and overcome adversity at every level, and we will make an impact. We will create an atmosphere where our team members can be successful in life because they were involved in impact. You work at a place that will fill your glass instead of empty it. A place that supports you and encourages your growth. In fact, mandates it. We will make some money, but you will be called to be a better husband, wife, daddy, mama, brother, sister, a better human. And you will be equipped to have a purpose-filled and fulfilling life. I dream of a day where we have this banquet in a stadium because we don't have enough seats in here. We will have teams all across the nation, changing the world, one HVAC system at a time. Where many generations from now, they will say that God built a company in Madison, Georgia, one that honors him and that many were impacted by. Tonight, I pray God's favor over all of you and your families for the rest of your lives, for generations to come, for your children and your children's children. Thank you for your time tonight. Let's move into 2026. Lead well and build an impact. Thank you.